Hello everyone, hi, welcome back to another episode of a Torchwood reaction. This is Road Live, and my name is Matt. Hi, what's up? So, last time on Torchwood, we had... What happened last time? I don't remember. I don't seem to remember. I don't even remember the name of the episode. Huh, that's weird. Anyway, so, moving forward with Torchwood is episodic. Who gives a shit, right? Moving forward, I think we can just jump into the next episode. So, yeah, let's just go. So, Torchwood season 2, episode 6, I believe. Yeah, 6. Let's go.
Sorry, we're closing.
What's that? Did it say mum? Based on Miss Haarute Johnson, Prime Minister.
I hear the song of a nightingale. Miss Martha Jones.
Let's fucking go! But so much is in the credits. Queen Free Argument, let's go. It's been so long as something like that. Let's go. Was not expecting this.
Owen?
And they all go like, okay, who the fuck is she?
Have you checked his medical records?
No, I was just about to.
Well, let's give it a go. You never know, Owen. You might learn something.
Oh my god.
So, end of the World Survivors Club.
God, I am so glad to see you, Jack.
See, you did come all this way just to see me. It's the jawline. Once seen, always yearn for.
Oh my god.
Do you miss him?
No. I made my choice.
She did
Maybe
walk
sometimes.
off.
A tiny bit. Tiny. Tiny. Then I come to my senses again.
Medical officer?
Oh, yes.
So do I have to call you Mom?
No. Just follow my orders to the letter. This woman from unit rang out of the blue, said I was just what they needed, that I'd come highly recommended by an impeccable source.
You mean...
Well, who else would have done it?
You know Jack pretty well then?
Oh, we were only together for a few days, but it was pretty intense.
No, not like that.
God, no! No! Not that sort of intense. You and him? No. No. Not at all. We must be the only two people on the planet.
I know. What are we doing wrong?
Oh, that's fucking good.
Concentrates energy on a tiny fixed point without damaging anything on the way. It's brilliant.
It's amazing.
Yeah, do you remember the last time you did that, Owen?
Yes. Right. Vaporize this paper without even scorching the cup. Haven't quite got the calibration right yet.
I literally heard footsteps and I was like, someone's gonna get shot or whatever.
Like injecting them with bleach.
Unless the objective isn't just killing,
It's destroying something in the victim's bloodstream.
it's getting rid of evidence. Yeah, no infections, no deficiencies in organ function, perfect cholesterol levels, ideal blood pressure.
Yeah, exactly. She's so normal, she's abnormal.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a serious medical condition?
Too good to be true.
What do you mean?
I had HIV.
You're perfectly clear of antibodies. That's not medically possible.
That's
Who
the
cured you?
reset.
Reset. What are we talking about? A drug?
She's about to die.
Got it from the farm.
Farm? What farm? Marie!
P-H-A-R-M, the farm. They gave it to me. They paid me a lot of money. They said I should keep quiet about it because it was part of the contract.
Some experimental drug thing. Well, luckily she gave us the information before that. What the fuck? Bees. It was bees all along. It's going into them. No, they're dying. Okay, let's take a look at this fucking beast. What the fuck?
Where it works its way through the files, and when it finds a Trojan or a virus or whatever, identifies it and then it deletes it. It's like the body's been turned back to its factory settings.
It's the ultimate magic bullet. Supersedes anything and everything in the pharmacological armory. Comes bundled with the lethal alien parasite.
Ah, not so good a discovery.
Parasite egg incorporates this magic bullet, which puts everything in the system back to its factory settings.
Normally, Aaron, we go where we like.
Not here, actually. Ask Whitehall. We are fireproof.
Yeah, I had a bad experience with a politician recently. I tend not to listen to Whitehall anymore.
One of us goes in undercover.
No, we don't know enough about the workings of that place. Too many things could go wrong.
Unless you were to put a medic in there. Come on, Jack. I've been in worse places, and you know it.
This is true.
She's more than capable.
She is.
I'd rely on Martha if the world was ending. In fact, I did.
That is also true. She literally saved the world. She single-handedly saved the world. Martha has historically been the most capable companion the Doctor has ever had. I think so. She was my absolute favorite back in the day, too.
Don't try too hard. Don't draw too much attention to yourself.
Be invisible. I can do that.
Once you're in,
I can do that. Fuck. This is good.
So, am I right in thinking that you and he...
dabble.
Yeah?
Every now and then.
So, what's his dabbling like?
Innovative.
Really?
Bordering on the avant-garde.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my fucking god. He like zoned off thinking about it.
Pool tournament you were organising.
But it's never a tournament.
What was all that about then?
It's supposed to be a date.
Sorry?
I was asking you out on a date.
She,
A date?
she just came out and said it.
You and me?
Yeah.
I see. And you still want that?
Yeah.
Right.
If we spent some time together in an evening.
All right.
Sorry?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Are you being sarcastic?
I just said yes. I don't mind. Look, one date. See how it goes, which might be nowhere.
That's fine. A drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep flirting with people, okay? Just because of this. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop flirting.
You can be king of flirts.
Okay.
Good progression. Very straightforward, direct interaction in order to progress that plotline of stupidity. That was good. I like that.
Cycle of the parasites. They call it the mayfly.
Martha's not gonna do it. She's smiling. She's like, I'm going in. I missed the shit.
Executive actions.
Old CIA terminology for assassinations. Farmer running their own hitman.
She hasn't been reported missing or dead.
She soon will be. Take Yanto and pull her in.
What is this mad woman doing? Is this a fully grown... Yeah. Why did you come here? Oh shit. Okay. And... Okay, they got Martha.
You really are something special.
Hey, Bill, you've been on a killing spree. Why?
I work for the farm. They've been giving people this reset drug, but then there were these side effects, parasites or something. They were gonna die anyway, so I had to get rid of them before any weird symptoms showed up in public.
Lymphocytes and God knows what other cells have mutated.
Mutated, how?
Under the influence of radiation. Radiation that's not found in the temporarily stable environments on Earth.
I don't know what that means.
We've dealt with aliens before, but we have never come across anything as exotic as you. A human being who's traveled in time and space. I'd like to know what your funky lymphatic system makes of those imperfections.
He's dead. Yeah.
Owen, we need him alive.
Yeah, all right. I'm trying blinded. Look, I think I've got it. Okay, I've got the calibrations right. I can get it out of him.
Oh my God. Owen, deal with it.
What the fuck?
I thought of a way we can use him to get us into the farm. Clever, huh?
Oh, you are warped on the inside. What do you think of these things?
I'll take that as a compliment.
For some we're gonna decapitate him and just use his head. Just wear his skin. It's gonna be on the front. Yeah, literally. That is so fucking stupid. I don't know how that worked. He's just completely unmoving and somehow it worked. This is so fucking dumb. I love this stupid show. This show is great.
She survived the larval stage, the only subject ever to do so. Fascinating. Turns out these bugs practice sibling cannibalism. Only the strongest individual is left now.
Good fuck, lady. Ugh. Oh, that's terrible. Do we do it?
What's happening here? This is what the farm is all about. We farm captive aliens with exotic chemical products they metabolize. The mayfly, our feedstock for reset. Given time, we'll tweak the product for human use, then it'll be bigger than penicillin.
The real alien ant farm. We're gonna free you, you little mayfly. You will be freed. You will be safe.
That we're going to die anyway. We're on the edge of the greatest discovery in history. It's got to be worth a few sacrifices. You must understand that, Jack. You're involved in alien research.
Not like this.
This is a state-of-the-art official facility.
Oh, I'm not going to do it by sending a memo.
We're gonna blow up the place.
We're going to trip the systems of your fire, radiation, and biohazard safety networks. Large part of this facility will be sealed and flooded with inert gases.
The aliens will die.
They're already dying. This way they'll be put out of their misery.
God's sake, we're on the same side.
No. Combating hostile aliens is one thing, but this is slavery, exploitation, a war crime.
This is the only way we're gonna save Arthur. I think I understand how
He's
it
about to
works.
do
You better
something.
be sure.
Because it's never worked before.
He's about to attack Owen in the back or something.
Okay, Jack! Owen, tell me you're sure. You can kill her with that thing! We're losing her!
Just back. Okay.
Oh, bloody hell, it worked. Thank God for that.
Was that the proper calibration?
Did you really think I was going to let you just walk away? You ruined everything I worked for.
I know you don't. I'm gonna shoot that.
Well.
You're next.
Oh shit. Get fucked. Alright. Trent Owen.
Owen, look right at me. Stay with me, Owen.
That's a pretty deadly shot, by the way.
He's dead.
Just like that. How much episode is left? That's it. Just like that. Holy shit, they abducted him. Holy fuck. Like, I would have thought he would have been fine if it hadn't been for the fact that, like, he had that moment with Tosh earlier when he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Because now it actually now it actually hurts because there was something to do that he didn't get to do. And Tosh is gonna suffer because of it too. And also because like Owen was like really good this episode too. Shit. Okay, so here's the thing about that is that I'm expecting that to not be the end of Owen, but to be the end of Owen. If that makes any sense. So I'm expecting him to like come back in some dumb sci-fi way for like one more episode at least to like give it closure, because we didn't get that here. We got nothing here. It was just end of episode. He gets shot. He dies. Fuck you. Right? The fact that he was so he got abdulled. He got fucking abdulled. So the fact that was so fucking sudden, out of fucking nowhere, right at the end, you don't get anything. It's just like he's dead. Credits roll. The fact that he was like that makes me think that they're gonna bring him back in some way for like one more episode. Maybe not the next one. Maybe the next one, but maybe not the next one. Maybe like 2 from now, or like at the finale, right? And at that point, like I'm trying to think about how they could do this. I mean, it's sci-fi. They can always do it in some dumb way, right? We did destroy like the glove, like the risen mitten or whatever the fuck that was. Yeah, we did destroy that. So that we can't use that anymore. But I'm sure there's another way they could do it. Like I'm not necessarily saying that they are going to willingly do it. They could. Tosh could. even, but it could be some happenstance of whatever the season is gonna do that will bring him back in some way. I'm not sure how, but it could happen. I am not expecting him to come back full time though. I think he's out. I think he's out of the show. I think he's just out of the show, but if he shows up, I think he will show up, but for like one or more episode, maybe like 2, right? Tops. But I think he's just out of the show as a regular now. The weird part is that this happens like halfway through the season. That's the weird shit. I'm getting like Face the Raven vibes, right? But even worse, because this one was more sudden. And Face the Raven was sudden. But this one is just like, you got shot, fuck you, you're dead, credits roll. Right? It's like, so that's the reason why I'm like, I don't buy this. But I do, but I don't. Like, I think he did die because he got shot through like the chest and he was like the heart, and he's just like, he's dead. And people are like, he's dead. So it's like, yeah, he's dead. But I think in some dumb sci-fi way, he's gonna come back for like 1 or 2 more stories somehow. And then he will truly be out, right? That's how we're gonna do closure. They could absolutely not do that though, because this is Torchwood. And Torchwood is like, Torchwood does not give a shit, right? But at the same time, I feel like we're missing an opportunity for drama. In order to have like, to have a character just like that, right? And to not have like characters dealing with it in the episode. Next episode is absolutely gonna be that. 100%, right? How are we gonna do this? I don't know. Like I keep trying to think how they're gonna do this, but it's weird like that. Okay, so since I do think that this is the end of Owen as a regular cast member, maybe not entirely, but I feel like we need to talk about Owen. Owen this episode was very good. In this season, he has been very good as well. Like every episode, he's been increasingly better than the previous one, kind of. We didn't really have Owen episodes, I don't think. Did we have Owen episodes? Don't remember. So we had a Jack episode, whatever episode, a Tosh episode, the meat episode. I guess Owen did kill the thing and he was like regretful that he did it. And then we had yeah, I don't remember episode 5, it's weird. And then episode 6, which is this one. So we didn't really have like an Owen episodes in order to like prepare us for this. Because I feel like we should have had like an Owen episode where Owen was the main focus. Because we do have episodes where characters are the main focus. Like one specific character has the main thing going about them, right? Like it was Tosh with the soldier episode, To the Last Man, whatever, right? And a lot of season 1, like 2/3 of season 1 were episodes where a character was the main focus and the main drama, right? And that came back at the end when the drama for everyone was actually a thing that mattered, right? So I feel like we should have had an Owen episode before this happened in order to like fully cement this version of Owen in season 2. Sorry, I touched the mic. In season 2, in order to like show us what kind of character Owen is now, which is a very different character from Owen season 1. Not very, but substantially. Owen grew a lot. He matured a lot. He stopped being kind of a piece of shit a little bit. Not entirely, but mostly. Like, he's not that mean anymore. He's just like, he just acts like an asshole, but he's not mean-spirited anymore, which was the case in season 1. In season 1, he was an asshole to people. In this season, he's not an asshole to people. He's just kind of a prick in the way he acts, but that's kind of about it. But like, which I think it's an amazing growth for a character. I think it's amazing for a character to go from one spot to the other. I just kind of wish he hadn't done that shit on episode 1 of season 1, because that one was a little bit too much. that is an example of a little bit too much for me to be entirely bought on this character, despite them having like a good arc. That one was a little bit too much. That was like a line was crossed. Like 2 lines were crossed. Several lines were crossed on episode 1, which immediately made me not like Owen, and forever I will feel that way. Even if I like, because I'm one of those people that like I forget about shit, right? And I only like care about things that are like in my immediate vicinity, like what's immediately in front of me. So it's very easy for me to get carried away watching this episode, being like, "Yo, Owen is awesome," and then I'll remember and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that happened." And I understand that was a different character at a different point in time, but that still happened, right? So that's how I'll forever feel about this character. And I've been like, people have like commented on this videos being like, I love Owen, and I'm just like, back then I was like, I don't see it. In fact, I think you're crazy. But I can understand. I can understand the idea of like, this character goes through like an arc and it becomes a better character, and at the end of the day, after it's all over, you're gonna look at this character and you're gonna be like, that was awesome. That character really grew, and I can see that. I already saw that. Like back then, I was like, I can see this happening. So now I can see Owen at the end of his character journey, quote unquote. Let's assume it's the end, and I like the journey. I like the place where he's at right now as the character. I think the beginning was a little bit too much. And like every time, that's the problem. It's that like every time I'm watching Owen now, I'm just like, yo, he's being cool. That's a cool thing. Oh yeah, that happened. Like every time, literally every time, I'm just like I have to catch myself just thinking about Owen and being like, yo, he's cool. And then I'm like, wait a second. Right? Because like, that's just forever how it's gonna be. Like, there's no way to change that. There's literally no way to change that. Unless they literally have like a retcon machine that they can use to retcon episode 1. But even that doesn't guarantee me that was like the only time he did it. I think it was. But still, that's like way too much. Like that episode is way too much. It's like way too like unforgivable for me. So okay, I don't mean to shit talk the dead, the quote unquote dead, but it's a fictional character, so what do I care? But like I feel like it was a bad writing decision. That shit that they did on episode 1. I just think it was a bad writing decision. I don't know if I said that on episode 1. I expressed my dislike of that and just being relentless towards Owen. But I feel like I should be relentless towards whoever wrote that, right? Because the thing is that like the moment that a main cast character does that shit, the moment that happens, I'm just like, there is no way you can save this character now. There's literally no way. Because this is like, that was a line that should never be crossed by a character that is supposed to be maybe not a good person, but like a character that you're supposed to care about. Because that's the thing, he's main cast. And we had Owen episodes. I have never cared too much about Owen because of it. I have cared to a degree because his main cast, he's put in the forefront and I forget shit. So as long as it's in the front, the camera's focusing on him and emotions, I'm just like, okay, I get it, right? But like I feel worse for Tosh than I do for Owen right here. Like, he got shot and he died, and I'm just like, okay. But the fact that Tosh was the one that, for some reason, she always wanted to date him, and they were pushing that. And this episode, they finally did it. This episode, finally, Tosh had the fucking guts to be like, because they were talking about the pool tournament, right? That random shit that they said like 2 episodes ago or whatever, right? Where where Tosh invited Owen to play pool or whatever, and Owen was like, yeah, we could do a pool tournament with the whole team or whatever, and Tosh was like, right, like he didn't get it. She was like the most upfront she could have been about it, and he didn't get it. And then in this episode, like, he brings it up. I think it was him, and he was like, yeah, what happened to that pool tournament that we were gonna do or whatever? And Tosh was like, it was never gonna be a pool tournament. And he was like, why? And she was like, it was supposed to be a date. What? It was supposed to be a date, you dumbass. I was inviting you to a date. You didn't realize that. And he was like, no. Okay, so you still want to do that? And she's like, yes. And then they were like, okay, let's do it. But I like how they did it, which was, he was just like, all right, but let's just do it like once. We'll see what happens. Let's see what's up. And she was like, yeah, sure, once. Let's do it. And let's see where it goes. And it's like, yeah. And he was like, I'm still gonna flirt with everybody though. And she was like, yeah, sure. You can do you. Like, we're treating this as adults, not as dumb teenagers. We're just gonna be like, let's see how this goes, and let's see if it works. And they're both like, cool, let's do it. Handshake. We'll meet this place, whatever. Let's have a drink. Yeah, sure. Right? It was like a mature interaction, which was not the case for the past 1.5 seasons, right? It was just like, oh, I don't want him to find him out or whatever. And that was the whole thing. So finally, when that comes together, and then he got shot, I'm just like, shit, I think he's dead. I think he's gonna die. Because, like, I was completely unafraid when the dude showed up with the gun. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Another, like, random villain of the week just pointing guns at the Torchwood team. I'm just like, we see this shit every week, right? No, he got fucking shot and he died instantly. Like the moment he got shot here, I was like, okay, that's a bad one. And then he was just like gushing blood, just laying down on the floor, and everyone was just like, oh shit. I'm just like, shit, he might die. That's like a really bad wound. And then I thought about that scene with Tosh, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's a dead flag. All right, he's dead. And then he died, and credits rolled. That was sudden. So I don't think he's fully dead. I think he is dead, but I think he will come back in some way, shape, or form in some story this season. Maybe next one, maybe not next one, but he will, like, near the finale or at the finale, whatever the finale is gonna be. I think they're gonna face the Raven this shit. And yeah, that's it for the Owen talk, I suppose. I like. Okay, so here's the thing. I think Owen would be an amazing character if episode 1 didn't exist. If Torchwood started with episode 2, I think Owen would be great. That's literally the only thing. That's literally the only thing I have against Owen. I mean, yes, I did have a lot of things against Owen in season 1. The thing is that those are things that you can, like, grow out of and, like, mature, and just, like, he becomes a better character and a better person, and he has. So that is commendable, and that is something I like. And I like that as in the character of Owen. I like the decision where they decided to take this character. I just think the decision to start the character at that one specific point was stupid and too much. And he never recovered from that in my head. And I can assume he never recovered from that for a lot of people too. I kind of want to go and watch, like, reactions to this episode and see what other channels have to say about Owen now that his, like, journey is over, I suppose. Because I feel like there has to be a lot of people that, like, don't see Owen as a redeemable character just because of episode 1. Right? He raped 2 people. That's bad. So that's how I feel about Owen. And I understand that some people might really love Owen. And I don't even like fully hate him, because this almost feels to me like more of a fuck up on the writers, on like the writer's decision that when episode 1 was written. I almost feel like that's the problem, right? I feel like literally everything else afterwards was great regarding Owen, except for that one thing in episode 1. And I think that was just the case of a writer, and I don't remember who it was. I don't know who the fuck wrote that episode. I don't know if it was RTD or if it was Shimna or whoever. But whoever, not even wrote that, but like whoever had that idea. Because usually these things, maybe there's a bunch of writers who are working together and they take advice from each other or ideas from each other, whatever, right? Whoever had that idea to just introduce Owen as this person that just grabs some alien pheromone or perfume, whatever, and just walks into a bar and just gives it to a girl and is like, hey, let's fuck. And she's like, let's do it, baby. After she said, I don't want to. And then a dude comes in and he goes like, you too. And he's like, let's fucking go. And then it's like, yeah, let's have a threesome. It's like, that's bad. That's really bad. And I think that was just a case of whoever came up with that idea just didn't realize how bad of a thing that was. Just because this was like 2006 or 2007 and people were just stupid back then, right? Because people just didn't, like, say what you will about social media and the internet in general. But at least nowadays, people are able to just say shit and express themselves and express their experiences. Which means that now the conversation for literally everything has moved so much further ahead. Because now we are able to listen to people about things. And I think that just because back then we didn't really have that very much, a lot of people, and in this case, whoever wrote that or whoever had that idea, just didn't have the... It's not that they thought that it wasn't a bad thing, it's that they just thought it was not enough of a bad thing as they thought it was in their heads, just because they never thought about it too much. Like, I'm sure that if you walked up to whoever came up with that and said, would you do that shit on episode 1 of Torchwood if you were to write it right now, they would be like, no fucking way. Are you kidding me? That completely ruins the character. Because I think it does. I think it completely ruins the character. That would otherwise be awesome. Because I think Owen's growth as a character is awesome. Like, his development is awesome. Because I'm actually a sucker for characters that are like bad, but not like villainous bad, but like cold and uncaring, and then they grew into characters that are more respectful and caring. Owen went in that direction. Like, even though maybe he didn't fully get there, he was on his way there, and you could see it, right? You could absolutely see it this season. And I really enjoyed that. The problem is that episode. It's that one event. That one single event that was like 2 scenes. That was like a total of like 2 minutes. That was enough to throw that character in the trash can. And then they put a bunch of glitter on the trash can. And then they like painted it with a bunch of nice colors. And then they put like a light on top of it. And then they like dressed it very nice. They put a little hat on it. But it was still a trash can. So that's kind of how it feels about Owen. Like, I almost, like, here's the thing. I'm not even upset to Owen about this. I'm upset at whoever came up with that idea. That one time, that one episode. I think Owen as a character is awesome if you ignore that event. And at this point, I am ignoring that event. At this point, I'm kind of ignoring that event. Because I feel like that is just like a weird disconnect. And a fuck up on the writer's part. I think that is just literally it. Unless something, I don't know what the fuck they could do to save that. If Owen comes back, which I think he will in some way, I don't think there's walking that shit back. I don't think there's backtracking that one event. I think that is locked in. That was episode 1 shit. So I think that there's literally no way you can walk that back. So I think it's just a fuck up on the writer's part. Because I think that just throws a character that would otherwise be awesome into a situation they can never recover from. And at this point, I'm almost ignoring that event. At this point, I'm just gonna remember Owen for not that and just the character he's been for the past like 6 episodes and nothing else. Maybe like a couple of season 1s too, because he was an asshole, and the fact that he stopped being an asshole was good, right? Man, I keep talking. This has been like 25 minutes of just talking shit on Owen and trying to save him, but not being able to because the show does not give him the tools to do it. This is what this has been. I'm sorry. And like I know people have a hard time dealing with Owen too, because like I do remember comments of people being like, "Oh yeah, this Owen thing is like is really bad," and I'm just like, "Yes, it was." And then I have people being like, Owen is actually my favorite character. I love him. And I'm just like, how? I can see how. If you ignore that episode, I can see how Owen could be a character you really like. Because he also fits that stereotype of like, is it a stereotype? It's like the archetype of a character that just becomes a better person. Starts in a really rough spot, becomes a much better person, much more respectful, much more understanding. That's good. The problem. Okay, you know what the problem is at this point. I'm just repeating myself here. Shit, man. Okay, so closing notes on the Owen situation. He got abdulled. I don't think he's fully gone. I do think he's dead. I do think he's gonna come back in some dumb bullshit sci-fi form for 1 or 2 stories and to just close off whatever relationships or drama or whatever that might be floating in the air. So I think they're gonna face the Raven him, and then we're done. I think he'll show up like 1 or more time, maybe at the finale, and then he'll be gone. The other thing that I'm thinking about, and that I will bring up right now, because I thought about it earlier, and I feel like I would be like lying to you guys if I didn't tell you this. And it's the fact that I literally remember just now that at the end of series 4 of Doctor Who, with Stolen Earth and whatever the other one was, the season 4 finale for Doctor Who, we do have a crossover between Doctor Who and the previous Doctor Who companions, and the Sarah Jane Adventures, and Torchwood. Everything comes together, and it's awesome. The Torchwood theme in that episode, in that like 2-parter, was Jack and Gwen and Yanto, and I don't think there was literally anyone else. And now Owen has died, quote unquote. That puts a big death flag on Tosh now. Because now that I remember that, I'm just like, oh man. So what could happen to Tosh? 1, she could die. She could die in some episode where she's just like, Owen's dead, I don't care anymore, kill me, and then she dies. Could happen. 2, she kills herself, which is kind of an offshoot of the first thing that I just said. But she may just hang herself and just die. I think doing that over losing Owen is a little bit too much, so maybe not. Because like she didn't kill herself after she lost like the soldier or whatever dude, right? given that was just like an episodic, like one random dude, but still, I feel like it would be too much to do it. 3, she may just quit Torchwood. She may quit Torchwood, and they're gonna be like, just retcon her, because if they retcon her, she'll forget about Owen, and if she forget about Owen, she won't hurt anymore. Oh, that would be a cool way to do it. Maybe Tosh doesn't die, but what they do is that they just retcon her so she forgets everything about Torchwood, meaning she forgets about Owen, meaning she doesn't hurt anymore. That would be awesome. That would be an awesome way to do it. Okay, now I'm hopeful. Now I'm hopeful for Tosh not die. I still think the chances of her dying are higher than her not dying. But we'll see what happens there. There's also the possibility that they might just not have gotten the actress to come do a Stolen Earth. There's the possibility they just got like Gwen and Yento, and Tosh is just like at home sleeping or whatever, doing the Dalek invasion. That could happen, I suppose, but I don't think that was the case. I think the fact that she's not there means something. I don't know what, but something. Okay. Martha Jones. Finally, a half an hour into this discussion, we are now bringing back the name Martha Jones, because now we can finally talk about her, because Owen just ate up too much of her life. Martha Jones. I fucking love Martha Jones, by the way. Like, I'm thinking to like my favorite companions. And Martha, Donna, Bill, Graham. That's it. Those are my 4 favorites. For new Doctor Who, by the way. So yeah. And out of those 4, is Martha my favorite? She might be. Martha might be my favorite. Because, like, the thing is that Martha was so capable. Martha was so good. Martha was so loyal. Martha was so fucking awesome. And she got shafted super bad by fucking Tennant, just being super hung up over Rose or whatever they fuck. And given, I don't even like Doctor Companion romance. That is not a thing that I'm a fan of. But the fact that like Martha did her best. Like, remember fucking Human Nature? Remember all that shit that Martha had to go through? Just like dealing with this like 1910s. Just dealing with all the like racism and misogynism and just just fucking taking it all. Just working as like a maid for her like alien friend who doesn't remember her, who she has a super huge crush on. And she's just, and then she had to like put up with him not wanting to go back to being him and all that shit. And it's like that entire 2-parter is just elevates Martha so high up above like anyone else, because Martha just like did her absolute best to just keep everything together, and she succeeded. And without Martha, there wouldn't even be a universe. Like, because also she saved the Earth. She literally saved the Earth at the finale in Last of the Time Lords. She literally alone, single-handedly just walked the Earth all around it, and went and just basically spread the word of Jesus. Except Jesus is the Doctor and he went Super Saiyan. Don't worry about that. So she did that, right? The fact that she did more than what literally anyone else has ever done, with the exception of like maybe Donna, because the Doctor Donna, so Donna did one thing, which was she became the Doctor Donna, and she did like the things with like the with the Daleks and the machine thingy. I think that's like literally the only thing she did, which saved the day in that 2-parter. absolutely did. But I think Martha has just like this conviction and just this like sense of duty. And I like that they brought the fact that she's like very committed to her job. Like Owen said that, I think. And I'm just like, yes, absolutely. Like, I love Martha Jones and I love everything that she has done. And I think she deserved better. I think she deserved like 2 seasons maybe. Well, given it's like maybe the actors just wanted to go out, but like I just within a show point of view. But like that's the thing that I really like, by the way, is the fact that she walked away. The fact that like Martha literally just walked up to the doctor and she was like, "I'm done. I did all this shit. I sell all y'all asses. You still don't give me the respect that I deserve. You're still hung up over that fucking check." And because like the thing is that it's not even that he's like ignoring her advances. It's the fact that he's almost like ignoring everything that she has managed to do. It's the fact that Martha is putting 110% and the doctor is like not acknowledging it. And that obviously that is not good for Martha. So I like that at the end of that season, she was like, I'm done. I'm done doing all this dumb shit and not getting any recognition for it. And also I was super in love with you, but clearly there's no future here. So I'm just going to walk away from it. And I think that's just going to be the best for the both of us. And she did. That was awesome. And I really like that about Martha. So in that regard, I like where Martha's story like ended that season. But I am super happy that she's back. I'm super happy that she's back here for Torchwood. I wonder if they're going to keep her around. Owens Death, so there is a vacancy. I know that she doesn't work for Torchwood. I know that she will work for Unit because she was there in Unit for series 4 of Doctor Who, which I believe happens after this Torchwood season. So this would have been the first instance of you realizing that Martha's working for Unit. This would be the first time. So, yeah, I knew that, and I knew that she was going to be fine because I remember that episodes. I think she was in like 2 of them. I'm so happy we got Martha here. And I hope she stays for more than 1 episode. I hope she's like here for like maybe next episode. Because at the end of this episode, like that was it. It was like very like cold end. Almost. Just randomly just got there. Impactful. And there you go. Sudden. So maybe she can be here for next episode too. Or she could come back for the finale or whatever. Like, or maybe she can just be like a recurring guest character that shows up every now and then. Like they can do that. That would be awesome. Because I know she will work for Unit, but I don't know if she will work for Unit after like this season though. Because I do remember at the end of Stolen Earth 2-parter. I don't remember the name of the last episode, sorry. But like at the end of that, I remember that Jack walked away with Martha and he said, I don't know about Unit these days anymore. Which maybe leads into Martha being in Torchwood next season or 2 seasons. I think there's 2 more seasons. And then Mickey also joined in. So Mickey can show up too. That would be great. I want to see that so bad. So I'm hopeful for that. At least for her to show up again. I'm not sure for how much, but a little bit, at least. So that. But I was just happy to have her here. Because when at the beginning someone showed up on Torchwood and was in first person and showed up this like card or whatever, and Yanto was like, oh, sure, ma'am, right this way, you can go. It was very respectful, so I thought, my immediate thought was Harry Johnson Prime Minister. Because she did that shit. She did Harry Johnson, former Prime Minister, right? That was great. So I thought Harry Johnson, because she would still be alive here. But no, it was Martha Jones. I was not expecting Martha Jones. I'm so happy to have Martha Jones back. I love Martha Jones. We need more Martha Jones. Martha Jones is good. It's good. It's good shit. So, okay. Anything else I need to go over? I mean, yeah, they had this like alien slaving facility in order to create like drugs to help further human research in the field of medicine, I suppose. Like, I don't like it's a good storyline. Like I think it works. I think it's good. But like at the end of the day, what matters about this episode is Martha, and it's Owen and Tosh and all that, right? There were some fun interactions with Martha about Jack and all that shit, and a bunch of like small callbacks to Doctor Who that were really fun and I really enjoyed. I like that one moment where they were talking about Martha going into this infiltration, and I think Owen was like, "You'll have to be like invisible," and Martha was like, "Invisible? I can do that." And I'm just started laughing because it's like, yeah, that's a callback to like literally every situation she was with the Doctor. She felt invisible to him. So that was awesome. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, we got this bit of information that apparently the Doctor is the one that pulled the strings for Martha to get a job at UNIT. So great. I don't think that was said in Doctor Who, but there you go. That's what happened. That's how she ends up there. But yeah, I think we're done with this episode. It was a really good one. It was a really good episode, yeah. So yeah, can I get an F in the chat for Owen? I'm glad to have Martha back. I don't think Owen will fully be gone yet. I think he'll show up like one more time at least in some dumb sci-fi form. But I think at the end of the day, I think this is it for this episode. It was a good one. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of a Torchwood reaction. If you would like to see next one, as well as full length for this, that, everything else, you can check out the Patreon, check out the links in the description for that and everything else, and I'll see you next time. Okay everyone, take care. Bye.